Hey, I spent the last week of May in Ohio, and this video covers all of the antiquing I did, other than the pirate-themed flea market, which I've covered in a different video. But this video starts with a scenario that I was really excited about. Let's just dive right in.
I set up at my first show when I was 14, selling baseball cards. I've owned an antique mall, sold online, set up at the cheapest flea markets, and some of the more expensive indoor walled antique shows. My name is Matt Gregg, and this is the life of a modern antiques dealer.
Okay, really excited about today. Friend of a friend bought an old lodge building, and apparently it's full of signs and posters and stuff they don't want anymore. And so they told this friend to come take a look at it. So we're going over there to take a look at it today. I've heard of these type of deals where people find old buildings full of stuff and call an antique dealer and sell it all to them or give it all to them or whatever and consign it all to them. But never had this happen to me before. Not sure how it's going to shake out with the stuff, but the one preview photo I saw was two World War II recruitment posters. So I don't know, could be some good stuff, could be a bunch of 1980s plastic signs, who knows, but driving over to check it out. Let's see how it goes. Less stuff than I thought it would be, less for sale. Some of it was more like they just wanted to know what they had. My friend bought one thing and I ended up buying a few things. Definitely some cool stuff. The posters were a little bit damaged. I couldn't use the shades, but those things were cool. Always good sellers. I did, however, end up with the sports stuff. I really liked the little mask. I thought it was baseball. It turns out it's basketball. After that, went over to Oxford, Ohio, hit this shop. Didn't know rope beds could command that kind of money anymore. I don't think they're sellable at any price. This piece was cool. I did really like this. Love the Spider-Man bicycle from the 70s. Price probably, I think, somewhere around eBay comps, maybe slightly less, slightly more, but really cool thing. Some decorative stuff. This was the shop next to the shop, which had stuff in it for sale, but no one manned the shop, so if you saw anything in here, you had to go next door to buy it. Had it really jammed in there. Definitely some cool stuff, though. A lot of stuff I wouldn't buy. This, not really in the market for it, but it had a great surface. Not sure, again, if it had any money left in it. So this was the shop next door. This was the shop. Lots of taxidermy in the window. Colts fan, apparently. Yeah. This shop was interesting. It was sort of laid out like booths, but then some of the booths were just really like all like-minded stuff. I don't know if it's all one dealer stock or if she rented booths out, and then I think she rents booths out, but it was just weird how some of it was really like stuff was decorated with like stuff. Back room, definitely some more interesting things in here. That was cool. Never saw one of those before. For a roofing shingle display. This was really neat, double-sided like sandwich sign for out front. Had one of those before. I think that was probably retail on that, not enough for me to make any money on. A lot of this stuff, I didn't really look any of this up, but some of those cans can be good. More taxidermy, giant snake, danger noodle as they call it. Some pottery in the back, pie safe. Yeah, that's what I ended up buying out of here. Bought the roofing shingle thing for like $40, and I bought the fish decoy for 80 or so. Different day, we went over to Lebanon, Thai restaurant next to an antique store. Can't go wrong. Thai food is actually very good. Antique store has some neat things. The bookends I think were resin. I didn't get them out of the case. This pie safe was neat. Good surface on it, I guess. But I don't know. A lot of country, some good country stuff in this store. I almost always buy something out of this mall. I think I've been here like 3-4 times. I always buy something out of one of two booths, though, it seems like. This booth, I don't know if I ever bought anything out of this booth, but it always has some good stuff, good early stuff. Some of it has been there I've been over there, I guess, over the last 2 years, maybe 3 times. Some of that stuff's been there the whole time. This booth, however, this booth right next to it, I almost always buy something, and I actually met this guy at the flea market, and I actually bought some stuff from him at the flea market, if you saw my pirate flea market video. But he always has some neat stuff. This, I could not figure out this thing. I had to look this up. That's actually a known thing, and they're all over eBay. Slightly more money, I think, than that. That one had a neat surface, but cool picture frame. Missing one corner, though, unfortunately. Fishing creel was pretty neat. And then the chair underneath it, I really like that chair. I'm not in the market for a chair like that necessarily, but leather seat, good early paint, nice crackling surface to it. That thing was pretty cool. Different booth. This guy, I kind of like that guy, but a lot of money for him. Back of the store, this hood sign was neat, ice cream sign. It's Ohio, so there's some Cincinnati Red stuff, of course. It's a pretty big store. Definitely lots of booths. Up front, they had this. Contemporary was signed on the bottom, but I think it had money left in it, but not for me. The only thing I bought, maple sugar molds in the form of a folk art beaver. Probably Canadian, I guess, because all things beavers are Canadian. But I did buy that for, I think it was $27. Day later, checked out this antique mall somewhere outside of Cincinnati, a little north of Cincinnati. This place was actually much bigger than it looked, although I guess it does look kind of big, but 3 different levels, lots of showcases. I spend a lot of time looking at showcases, but it seems like I rarely buy anything out of showcases, but I have bought some really cool things out of showcases. They also had free coffee for customers, or at least I think it was free, and they had this set up for Memorial Day. Yeah, 3 different levels, and it stretched way back, old building, kind of funky. I always like creepers. I only ever sold 1 creeper. That thing was too much money. Place had dealers where they actually had like names and stuff and businesses following on Instagram. Lots of showcases. Sports cards, lots and lots of showcases. These things were neat. These turtles, don't know. A lot of money. My friend Rob was checking out this blanket chest with my girlfriend. These things, I don't know, if signed by the right person, they can be worth a lot of money. Creepy clowns, some people like creepy clowns. I did not look that thing up, but always need to find tools that have the maker's mark. Tri-State Antique Market, that's a cool market. People should check that out in their area. Dog sign, dig the dog sign. I really like this artist, or this painting. I looked up the artist, but to no avail. Here, a booth where everything is black and white and gray. It kind of limits what a dealer can buy to resell. Candles, of course. Everybody loves candles. Sports cards. Actually, some decent sports cards in this pile. At some point, yeah, Don Mattingly rookie card. $5 with the sticker right on it. Yes, the sticker was right on the card. Actually, some decent 70s cards and early 80s cards. But I was tempted by a couple of them. Particularly tempted by... Here it is, coming out right now. Frank Robinson, Hall of Famer Frank Robinson, pencil price tag of 50 cents written right on the card. I almost bought that. I probably should have bought that, but I did not buy it. Magazines, but you can't open them to look at them to know if they're in the right condition for you. Booth with video games. Video games are always popular. I didn't look those up because I assumed that dealer knew what they had. These things, I think these are getting more popular. I like kitschy stuff. Kitschy bowling sign. Not sure that had any money left in it, but my only buy of the day, the dog sign for $20. Flipped this on Instagram. I think I made about $35-40 when it was all said and done. Cool dog sign though. Finally, I left Ohio, and on the way out of Ohio, I hit Springfield. Some of you will recognize this building outside of Springfield, Ohio. Giant antique mall, one of the biggest malls I've ever been in. Supposedly the one in Virginia is bigger, or I guess the one in Virginia is bigger. This one, I think, Heart of Ohio, I believe has better stuff than the place in Virginia. The factory is what I'm talking about, if you've ever been to it off of 81. But yeah, Heart of Ohio, it is big. I actually know 2 dealers who have booths in here. Yeah, that's true. Better buy it when you see it. Also, wash your hands. Everyone should have been doing that anyway, but right out the gate, I love this painting. Was tempted by this painting, even with the price of $195. I think that painting had some money left in it. Some early glass. No super deals, but some early glass. Always cool to see. This painted box. I thought this painted box had money left in it. A little bit later than it looks, probably early 1900s. About $40. That painted box is cool. I did not get it out, but looked neat. I think this sign had money left in it, especially if they give a discount of say like 10%. But I'm looking to buy stuff that I can actually make a little bit of money on. I don't know. I'm trying to be pickier about what I buy. I don't know. Trying to be pickier about what I buy. So yeah, big mall, very big mall, has a row across the front, left and right, and then off of that are like 6 rows that go towards the back. This is one of those rows we're walking down now that goes towards the back. Interesting mix, of course, like any antique mall, but there's a lot of collectibles and a lot of country stuff. I've been there before trying to buy country stuff. I think it's hard to buy country stuff out of this place. I benefited because I knew 2 people here. This thing was cool. A board off some famous house. Guy was an outside artist. I looked up, I found the artist. These were very intriguing to me. Decoys with like some make-do repairs. That's me carrying around. What am I carrying around? Oh yeah, I'm carrying those decoys. I bought those decoys. That was also intriguing. I like this sign, but too much money, but for me. But I don't know the right booth that would work. Check that out. That's a cool pie safe. Some great tins on it. Awesome surface. Unfortunately, missing a drawer. Funny thing is, I'm actually Facebook friends with the owner of this. Didn't even realize it. Like a week after I was in here, he posted a photo of his booth, and that was it. This booth had a lot of early glass. Nothing really free blown like I like, but a lot of pressed glass. A lot of 3-piece mold glass stuff from the early American pressed glass from the late 1800s. Love the stop sign. Did not have enough money in it because, again, I'm trying to. It's not so much the profit margin. I think in terms of how much time it takes me to list something and wrap it. And so I'm really only trying to buy stuff that's either easy to sell or easy to make a lot of money on. I'm trying to be more careful and not buy stuff for $100 to sell for $150. That takes me a lot of time to do that. Place is so big, they have food court. This is all the stuff I bought. As you can see, pretty good load. I was super, I benefited because I actually, like I said, I knew 2 dealers, and they both told me their booth numbers, and they both told me, the one guy I'm good friends with, he just offered me 30% off anything in his booth. I ended up buying, I think 5 items out of his booth, trying to count really quick. And then I bought 2 things out of the other booth. And so the only thing I bought that I didn't know the dealer was the decoys. Do you want some chicken sandwich? Do you want some chicken sandwich? You want some chicken sandwich? The first thing I want to say is the food was actually really good. I was surprised. I like to make fun of any place that has food for sale. If you're that big that you have to sell food, then you're too big of an antique store. But this food is actually legit pretty good. My sandwich has a couple bites missing. Weird. This is the video I posted the day after with some of my buys. All throughout Ohio. Stuff I found in Ohio. Flipped this for like $25 profit. Flipped this for about $45 profit. Actually didn't sell the bear. I bought these 2 things, but I haven't sold them yet. Overall, some very productive stops in Ohio. I've actually sold like, I don't know, about half of this stuff already. I just posted it on my Facebook or Instagram pages, and like I said, I've sold about half of it. I haven't posted everything yet. A few things I'm posting in the next week or so, and a couple of things I'm saving for my end of the month email. I do a monthly email blast the final Friday of every month with some of my favorite buys from that month. Usually 5 or 6 new things, maybe 1 or 2 sale things. And this coming email is looking pretty good. A few of these things are going to show up in that, but for the most part, like I said, all of this stuff, I talked a little bit in the video about it. I'm trying to only buy stuff that I make worthwhile money on. It's not necessarily the margin. It has to do with how much time it takes to pack it. Some of the signs I buy, and I had to spend half an hour wrapping them in cardboard and spending a couple of dollars on foam board. And if it ends up taking me an hour to pack it and about $5 to pack it, I only make $50. It doesn't seem worth it. But if it's a little carving, I can make $40 or $50 and put it in a small box, and it takes me 5 minutes to pack it. That feels a lot better deal for me. Just trying to be a little more productive with what I buy. I did, however, I think Ohio went well. I was happy with most of these purchases, and like I said, I flipped most of them. Flipped about half of them already. More in the future, hopefully. And let me know in the comments below what you think what your favorite buy of mine was, or if you saw something else in the video that you really liked. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe to follow my antiques journey as I travel around the country in my van trying to buy and sell as much stuff as possible. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace.